Just shot it, dude. They shot it.
Yes, they did. The decision to shoot down that apparent Chinese surveillance balloon is drawing some fierce reaction abroad and also here at home this morning. China calling the decision an attack. And now all eyes are watching for how China may respond. There are some Republicans as well criticizing President Biden for waiting too long to take action. Joining us this morning, Christian Witten. He is a former senior advisor at the State Department during the Trump and George W. Bush administrations. Thank you for your time this morning. You know, I have to wonder if the situation had been reversed and a U.S. balloon was over China, how would China be reacting?
Right. That's a great question, especially since they're calling this an attack. What would they do? Of course, they would have taken action. Of course, they would have shot down the balloon. They probably wouldn't have bothered worrying whether it would hit anyone on the ground in their own country the way our military did. And China actually has a track record. You know, it's interesting. If you go back to 2001, there was an incident that was a little similar, but reversed. The U.S. had a surveillance plane, a spy plane off the coast of China that China intercepted aggressively, actually collided with, and the plane was forced to land on a Chinese island, which led to essentially a hostage standoff. The difference there was that that plane was clearly marked with the insignia of the U.S. Navy. It was in international airspace. It was conducting surveillance. This is totally different. So if you go back to that, where China was extremely aggressive, did something illegal, into this, where we took reasonable and lawful action to defend our own country, it's just an interesting juxtaposition, I think.
Well, and is part of the difference here the fact that this balloon was so visible, right? People could see it with the naked eye across basically the entire United States until it went out over water.
Yeah, and that will be very interesting to see what surveillance package this had on it. And that's what the Navy and Coast Guard are recovering from the ocean floor right now, because it sort of is so brazen, so odd. Why would China do this in such a provocative way right when our Secretary of State was going to go over there to engage in diplomacy, to set up potentially a summit between the Chinese leader Xi Jinping and President Biden? Why take this risk? And it just sort of comes down to this brazenness, I suppose, but we need to learn more, I guess, to figure out what the Chinese were up to.
Right. And in order to learn more, they're going to have to gather as much material from the top of the water as they can out in the Atlantic Ocean, and then essentially reverse engineer this thing back together and understand its capabilities and what it was gathering. How confident are you that we'll have much more information than we do at this point?
I think we will. The question is how much will be made public. It'll be interesting to see what sensors, if they were just optical sensors, which would be kind of bizarre because you can get pretty good images from space, from just regular optical cameras, or from radar imaging, whether there were other sensors to pick up electronic communications. It's just, again, it's such a bizarre thing to happen, such a brazen thing to happen, that maybe some of that physical evidence will shed some light.
It seems reasonable that the president would wait until it's over water so that you don't risk injuring anyone on the ground. But he's taking heat from some Republicans that he waited too long. Where do you land on that?
I think it's fine to wait. They said they took measures to prevent this from collecting intelligence that was useful. I don't know if that's just ceasing activity or noticeable activity at U.S. military bases where this flew overhead. My bigger criticism of the Biden administration would be, where is the broader China policy? The administration said it was going to produce one. It never has. The president tomorrow addresses the nation in the State of the Union address. So why not take that opportunity to lay out a strategy for China that deals not just with military deterrence, but the whole gamut of things, from economic, trade, human rights, focusing on dissidents like Jimmy Lai, focusing on economics, whether we should decouple from China. The Trump administration enacted tariffs on China that Biden has kept in place, but we still have this enormous trade deficit. So instead of criticizing him for just waiting a little bit to shoot it down, I'd say, why don't we use this constructively to come up with a bipartisan China policy? How concerned are you about retaliation from China? Not very. Their means of doing so are fairly limited unless they really want to go overboard. I mean, they could, I guess, act more aggressively towards Taiwan. They already penetrate Taiwan's air defense identification zone. That's not its territorial airspace, but something that it manages on a daily basis. It could move more aggressively towards our bases in the Western Pacific. It could stir up trouble in cyberspace, but it seems like the attention of the world is on China in a very bad way right now. So it behooves China just to sort of let this one settle down. I think most of its bluster is for internal consumption at this point. All right. What about this other balloon that appears to be over Latin America right now? What are you hearing? My guess is that's just a red herring, that they probably launched that because they thought if the one that flew over North America was detected, they could say, oh, this is just another weather balloon. It's one of two. One went off course. It's sort of just it's a distraction unless there is some, military target of intelligence value that hasn't come to light, over Central America.
Christian Whitten, former senior advisor at the State Department for the Trump and George W. Bush administrations. Thank you for your insight. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.